We're joined by a comedian who's spent nearly a decade travelling the world, but for her latest adventure, Susan Calman has been finding out about the fascinating history on our doorstep.
Our great cities. Millions of us live in them. There's the noise, the bustle, the pollution, the crowds and the hassle. But do we really see them? Behind the day-to-day, there are incredible stories of vision, bravery and creativity. So come with me as we find the amazing stories, scandal, and people that built our fantastic cities. Follow me.
Oh, and Susan Calman joins us now.
Hello.
Oh, Susan, I tell you what, this is a lovely, lovely programme.
Well, thank you very much.
You know, you've done lots of travelogues, haven't you, in this country and abroad. But this one has a bit more of a sort of historic feel to it, which is something you're super interested in, aren't you?
Absolutely. I love history. It makes me feel slightly like a detective. That's what I like about it. And I've got a very inquisitive mind, sometimes to my detriment, I have to say. So whenever I'm wandering around, wherever I am in the world, I'm always looking and thinking to myself, why is that there? Who built that? What's going on? And by looking at our history, we can find out why we are where we are and what we should be changing. So it was really nice. I got to put on my lawyer's hat occasionally, which is quite dusty from my previous career, so it was great fun.
And you actually got to use those skills, didn't you, for a case that you were looking into in Glasgow?
Yeah. It was a bit of a blast from the past. In 1990, this is one of the things I'm most proud of, I won the British Professional Women's Public Speaking Competition.
Did you?
I did.
It's no surprise, Susan.
Bob Holness presented the prize.
Did he?
I've still got a video cassette of my winning performance. I think they taped over the young ones to tape it. And it was about the Square Mile of Murder, which is a part of Glasgow where 4 very notorious cases took place. One of them is Oscar Slater, huge miscarriage of justice. What's really interesting, though, is Arthur Conan Doyle got involved. And that's one of the reasons why the case came to light. So even back then, early 1900s, celebrities were getting involved and in that way bringing miscarriages of justice to light. So it's history, but it's still really relevant, I think, to what's happening today.
Yeah. And then you go to Newcastle.
Yes.
And that is a grim one, isn't it? Like horrible histories.
Yes.
You go after somebody who was a witch hunter.
Yes, so it's a bit of a different show. We don't shy away sometimes from slightly difficult subjects. And in Newcastle, there was the largest execution of witches in one day in England. And unfortunately, there was a Scottish con man involved. So a Scottish witch hunter came from Scotland down to basically con people, because he had a little tool called a bodkin, which if you pricked you and you bled, you were human, and if it didn't, you were a witch, but the blade would retract.
Oh.
So he was paid per witch.
Wow.
So, again, it's one of those things which I've been in Newcastle many times. I love the place. Didn't know a single thing about it.
No, OK.
You also had a bit of a bucket list moment as well, didn't you, when you got to visit some mysterious tunnels in Liverpool?
Yeah, the Williamsons tunnels.
Looks incredible.
They look unbelievable.
I couldn't quite understand what I was seeing. Because you walk off a suburban street, down into kind of a ruined house, down a little passageway, and this appears in front of you. It's like a cathedral underground. And it's this magical, kind of mystical place.
It's a lovely place for a concert, isn't it, or something?
I did try and sing, but the crew once again told me to shut up.
Fine.
They always do that.
Fine.
So
Did they give you the reason behind the tunnels? Or?
There are lots of theories about the Williamsons' tunnels.
Right,
One of them is that he was a big philanthropist and he was training people. He was trying to give people a trade so that people then could get jobs elsewhere.
Brilliant.
But like all of these kind of historical mysteries, there are theories and conspiracies, and that's part of the joy of the show.
And are they open to the public, those tunnels?
Yes, you have to make an appointment. I don't think you can just wander in, but it's volunteers.
You can go in there, Jonesy, don't worry about that.
Say, I know Susan.
Alex turns up. Volunteers, though, and so many of these places we went to, staffed by volunteers, maintained by volunteers who are so
Wow.
important in maintaining the history of the country.
Brilliant.
I love it. It's a lovely watch. Thank you. You can see those tunnels in the first episode of Susan's Great British Cities, which starts Friday, 9 o'clock on Channel 5.
Yeah, looks great.
Time now, though, to welcome our next guests, who are the stars of Guy Ritchie's brand new TV series, The Gentlemen, which is a spin-off from the smash hit gangster film of the same name.
Yes, it follows a duke who becomes caught up in a life of crime. So think Peaky Blinders and Downton Abbey.
Before we speak to Theo James and Kaya Scodelario, let's have a look.
I didn't ask for any of this.
As the new landlord, you will receive a significant amount of money in return for letting us carry out our activities.
I'm going to remove their interest from this estate.
No one walks away. And it's down to you to keep him under manners. These are serious people. Although they appear to be house-trained, don't be deceived by the facade.
And Theo and Kaya join us now. Hello.
Welcome to the show.
So, Theo, now then, this is essentially set in the same sort of world as Guy Ritchie's film from 2019, but the story is very different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same world, but very different story, very different characters. It's about Eddie. He's in the army. He comes home for his father's funeral, and he inherits the entire estate. He kind of leapfrogs his brother, and he discovers that under the estate is a massive weed empire is being run by Kaya's character and her father, the great Ray Winston.
That was interesting, working with Ray. So, Kaya, as we just mentioned there, so your character, Susie,
Yeah.
I hear she's a very powerful character. Did you base her on anyone in particular?
On kind of all the women I know growing up.
Yeah.
She's super powerful. When we meet her, she's already at the top of her game, and I was really excited about that, to play a character who's already the boss, knows what she's doing, highly intelligent, good at what she does, and unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
And I sort of loosely based her on some of my friends from school had quite dodgy families, lovely families, but the dads were, up to no good. But the mums were the ones that I was always like, oh, you know what's going on, you're in control.
Yeah.
So she's a little bit of a little bit of flavour of some of those mums.
Yeah, the women are always in charge, the ultimate.
They are.
You
They
remember.
I mean, 100%. Not saying a word.
We mentioned Ray Winston, Vinnie Jones obviously in it as well. And they've got this image, haven't they, as these kind of tough guys. But they've been on this sofa. They are very nice in real life. Theo, what did you make of filming with them? What were they like in between takes?
Oh, delicious teddy bears, yeah.
Big teddy bears.
We would, cuddle and spoon.
Bedtime stories.
No, I mean, actually, Ray is so lovely, and the same with Vinny. Vinny is. It's lovely to see him in this because we're used to Vinny as a footballer, as an actor, as a certain version of Vinny. But in this, he has a softness to him, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, you didn't see Vinny as a footballer, did you?
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't have said that otherwise. Kai, we're going to talk about something that I love to talk about, and I'm always talking to Anna about it. She'll never listen, so I can talk to you about it quickly.
Go on then.
Golf.
Yes.
You had to work on your golf swing, I hear.
There's a scene where we're playing golf in the show, and I'm quite competitive. So
Love it.
That's a nice
Look at that was
That's
one
a nice
lesson.
swing.
That was
Really?
one lesson.
That is a great swing. That is
loved
a
it.
cracking swing.
You're into your golf as well?
into
Love
it.
golf, been playing since I was 5.
Oh, wow.
And it's my favourite thing in the entire world, golf.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And you've got a natural swing.
Thank you.
You've got a natural
What-
swing.
Thank
Go on.
you.
Oh, I was going to ask what your handicap was if you're playing.
Well, unfortunately, I work too much to actually. I used to have a handicap of about 11.
Wow, that's pretty good.
To
That's
be
very
honest,
good.
I'm one of these people that doesn't focus on that. I just think golf is one of the most wonderful, relaxing, beautiful things in the world.
See?
But also aggressive.
Susan,
Aggressive.
you are fooling the
Gonna get you out on the
fire.
course.
Yeah.
What a game.
I mean, he plays golf so much, he knew where you were standing on what...
Did you?
Oh, my God.
Really pretty.
Go on, check.
And that's in the show.
Was
That
it
was
at Brocket
the
Hall?
course
Was it at Brocket Hall? you were?
Yeah, it was.
I know that range. I know it inside out.
Ridiculous.
I know that bit of
Ridiculous.
grass.
There plenty of times.
There are rumours now then, Theo, moving on from golf,
Yes.
about a third White Lotus series in Thailand.
Yes, yes.
The last one was in Italy.
Amazing.
Absolutely loved it.
Oh, cool, yeah.
It looked like a tough gig.
It was, yeah, look, just constantly boozing in the sun. No, it was a great gig, and I'm looking forward to what they do in Thailand. Mike, being Mike, will probably subvert expectations in completely the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah. And Kaya, a TV series that a lot of people remember you from as well will be Skins. I'm sure you enjoyed your time on that show.
Long time ago.
Not that long.
Do you manage to keep in touch with any of the cast at all?
Yeah, most of us are really close. I'm lucky to call a lot of them some of my closest friends in the world. Last night we had our premiere and Joseph Dempsey was there, Clarissa Clayton, Megan Prescott, little mini
Yeah, because a lot have
reunion.
gone on to do some great things as well.
We had a wonderful time on that job, and most of us are very, very close. I'm very grateful for their friendships.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long ago at all.
It doesn't.
17
indeed,
years.
Jesus.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
17 years. First season. I know, babe.
Goodness me.
It
What?
flies. Well, you can watch The Gentleman from tomorrow on Netflix, so make sure you go and watch that.
Now, question for you, Theo. Holly asks, would you be interested in playing a superhero in the future?
Captain Underpants.
Yeah. Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect.
Jane says, saw the first episode of Gentleman at the premiere last night. Can't wait to see the rest of the series. Big fans already.
Diane says, such a lovely, bubbly Scot. She must be talking about you. Please keep your programmes coming.
And we got on
Thank
here
you
for
very
you
much.
as well, Susan. Leslie says, I love all the programmes that Susan does. She's a great lady and such an inspiration for us all.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank
The
you
love
very
is in the
much.
studio
You come on
today.
here, so we make you feel good. Thanks to all of our guests tonight, Theo, Kaya and Susan.
OK, now it's World Book Day tomorrow and we'll be celebrating the grand final of the BBC's brilliant 500 Words children's writing competition.
Yes, it all kicks off on BBC Breakfast tomorrow morning with John Kay, who's been behind the scenes with the judges. Then tomorrow night, we'll be bringing you all the action from the big day. Nearly 44,000 children entered their stories, and the 50 finalists were invited by Her Majesty the Queen to a very special ceremony at Buckingham Palace to find out who had won. With actors Tom Hiddleston, Hugh Bonneville and Matilda herself, Alicia Weir, among the celebrities tasked with announcing the winners and reading their stories. All that and more in our special World Book Day programme 500 Words with the One Show tomorrow at 7. Oh, it was a wonderful day.
Yeah.
That will be a perfect end to World Book Day for the children tomorrow. So get them in front of the TV. You do not want to miss it. 7 o'clock, BBC One and iPlayer. Have a lovely evening. Good luck with the costumes tonight.
Sorted. Boxed
Yes.
off. Good night.